Hey guys, my name is Loveless, and we are here back with Seduce Me Too. So yeah, let's get onto it. Fuck. Press the button. Oh well, you already read it. So Diana turned towards me and looked down at my outfit. I nearly forgotten that I was still in my wedding dress until Diana pointed to my chest.
Lumen infere, bellum tabescere, serene.
Alright. I stared at her, unsure of why she was speaking in Latin, until I felt the fabric around my body begin to shift and change. I quickly looked down at my wedding dress, morphed into an outfit that looked perfect for the demon world. I want to see. Okay. So the white top shifted into a long sleeves oversized tunic with a leather corset and vest, while the bottom part grown and wrapped around my legs, formed into dark leggings. My shoes stretched into long high-heeled boots. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
The first thing I thought, it was like, this is my ass-kicking outfit, bitch. And it's like, oh my god. I swear I've been watching too much TikTok on YouTube. And it's just been Boku no Hero TikTok, pretty much. So, yeah, I think I have a problem. Like, literally all of my recommendation feed is like just TikTok of Boku no Hero, I swear. And then like a little bit of extra stuff, and then that's kind of it. It's kind of embarrassing, but I love it so much, so there's that. I blushed getting used to the feeling of the outfit, the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of the garb. James, however, smiled down at me and kissed my forehead.
We'll save the wedding dress for when we return.
Right. Is it going to be able to morph back?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to head for the Demon Lord's castle.
Do you plan to shadow travel?
No, I have another method. Don't worry, I'll be back by morning.
Diana and Faye nodded at them as they pressed their lips together in the timeline.
Faye, please escort our guests to the remaining open rooms while I'm gone.
All right.
Set up.
Yes, my lady.
Seta walked towards Diana and followed her out the room. The other demons, however, looked towards us.
I'll take you to your rooms then.
Thank you. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Faye. My mind for a moment wandered to Diana, remembering her almost evil smirk when we performed the curse. Was that what she's planning to do? Hopefully not truly sadistic. I'm pretty sure it's pretty fucking sadistic. This was completely crazy. I was stuck in the demon world with the man I loved, and I had to wait until this war was over to even consider going home. I held James's hand tightly as we walked through the hall of the castle, now worried about remembering my nightmare once again. True. Oh, fuck. Yeah. That is a issue. I totally forgot about that issue. Yeah. I began to feel nervous, nauseous even. There were so many things there are so many things wrong about this, and there's even more things that could go wrong with this plan. Kill the Demon Lord? It sounds so simple, but this world has been going on for a while. Who knew if this is the final battle? James most likely felt nervous in my hands as he felt my nervousness in my hand as he gave a gentle squeeze, catching my attention and breaking my thoughts.
Are you okay?
Bad thoughts. Just very bad thoughts. No, yes, no, yes. I kind of think I want to just say yes, but I'm not. No. And this is going to a full ranting session. It's not like it's not normal, so. I couldn't lie to him. I was worried about the whole ordeal and the fact that we were in the demon world and where James came from, and my worries increased tenfold. James gently squeezed my hand, leaning over to kiss my head gently.
Everything will be all right. We'll get back home soon enough.
Okay. I know, but... James looked down at me with a worry of his own.
Are you worried about your nightmare?
hell fucking yeah. I nodded. The nightmare I mildly plagued me reminded me of the things that James could potentially do. I knew it wasn't the truth, but part of me became fearful of its honestly being the case. James furrowed his eyebrows slightly before raising my hand and wrapping them beneath his arm, walking me like a gentleman.
Whatever happens, I promise that no one will hurt you.
Can you count that for yourself too? Okay, I squeezed James' arms, believing him at least for now. I was comforted to knowing that he would protect me and help me through this. We continued down the halls, leading our guide towards our room. The other were given rooms apparently the opposite end of the castle, while James and I claimed the ambassador's room. I had stayed in the night before. At least it was a room that I was familiar with. I began to space out, imagining what was going to happen. We would kill the demon lord, break the curse on me, and go home to be married. That was the plan. But what if we couldn't kill him? What if he was more powerful than we thought? James, however, gently nudged me, catching my attention and breaking me out of my thoughts.
Did you know that time works differently between the human and demon worlds?
Y'all? I could tell that he was just trying to calm me down with something else to keep my mind on. I began curious what he meant. Time works differently? Of course it does.
Indeed. In this world, time moves slower. What would take a day to grow in the human world would take 5 days here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought something similar like that. It's like, I was thinking like Fae. Like, going into, like, Fae world, yeah, things are run much, much slower. Or, like, at least seems like it. But with Fae world, it could be different, because it depends on the universe you have. There are some that where Fae world, like, what seems like a whole year, it's actually 5 outside in the human world. But then there's some that where just, like, 10 years in Fae world would be, like, just 1 year in human world. So it's just, like, it depends on the universe and stuff. On their actual rules that they have for it. But yeah, same thing applies for demon worlds. Yeah. As if James read my mind, he smiled at me.
You were gone for about 5 hours before we found you.
Yeah, and it's only been a day. It was like, what, less than a day? It was like a couple hours? Like half a day, actually. I think it was half a day of her being in the demon world. 5 hours? I had been in the demon world for an entire day, but back home I hadn't been gone that long. It makes no sense. Yes, it does. But James continues to speak as I stared at him.
You didn't arrive at the hall. We sent everyone home and used our powers to make sure no one would be suspicious. Once everyone left, we tracked you down and came here to find you.
Yeah, I think your little temper tantrum helped too. Because you do have your own abilities too. Seems like. I nodded in reply, taking the explanation. It was crazy to think about, but I guess it made sense. My mind wanted to fight it, but I had to remember this was a new world filled with new rules, so human logic didn't necessarily apply here. We finally arrived in our rooms, and we left alone for the night. I sat on the bed, feeling exhausted for the day, taking as James examined the room carefully. I walked around the room, observing each bit of decor with curiosity and care. Curious care.
So this is Lilith Castle.
I raised my eyebrows. This place has a name? Lilith Castle? James nodded, walking over to the tapestry on the wall, examining it as he explained.
This castle was the home of the first succubus, Lilith. Demons of Lilith, like myself and my brothers, come from one of thousands of branches of her bloodline. But we're not pure-blooded incubi. Diana, however, is a pure-blooded succubus, directly descended from Lilith herself.
Wow. No wonder Diana's so strong. Okay, my dream flashed before my eyes, reminding me of Diana's words towards James. I nodded, understanding as he continued with a small smile.
That's why her family was able to convince the demon lord to make her my betrothed. They were extremely powerful and could easily charm others, being of pure Lilith blood.
I could only imagine remembering how Diana controlled the entire school, like it was easy for her sent a small shiver down my spine. If she was that powerful, how powerful is she now after so long? James chuckled a little bit, breaking my thoughts.
Of course, you know what happened after that.
What exactly happened? I kind of remember a little bit, but it's been a while. It's been like a few months, almost a year. What? How? I should actually look at my past videos to see how long it's been. But I know I've been doing this since 2017. Or trying to do this since 2017, I think. Yeah, and failing miserably, but yeah. Okay, so breaking. Okay, fuck it. James chose me after all. I chose him. We loved each other and defied Diana's attempts to take him away because of it. I couldn't have been more proud of myself in that moment of time. James leaned down and whispered a bit in my ear, making me shiver slightly in his arms.
Besides, the woman I'm engaged to now is more amazing than any princess in all of the 5 worlds.
Aww, that's so sweet. I blushed at his words, feeling my heart skip a beat. James really did love me. Cuddle, kissing. This is gonna become a sex scene real quick. Okay, let's see. I kind of rather cuddle, but it's like that type of thing. It's like, okay. He's so sweet and caring. I felt blessed being able to be with him. Both his fiancée and physically in the same world. My words began to slowly break apart and melt in my chest. I looked down and leaned in and captured his lips with my own. James surprised me and seemed surprised for the moment before he let a soft groan escape his lips and kissed me back. He gently pressed a hand to the back of my head, keeping me close so that we can kiss each other lovingly. It's almost orgasmic, the way his lips moved against mine. As we slowly pulled away from each other, letting our breaths intermingle in the space between us, James smiled. I became lost to his whiskey brown eyes, wanting so much to forever to be entranced by them.
Come, let's get some sleep. We have a lot to do tomorrow.
Yay, no sex scene. Woohoo! I nodded and both of us settled into bed, drifting to sleep with our heads hit the pillow. I felt at peace knowing that James was by my side. But peace didn't last. What the? I felt the void around me shift and brighten into a blinding white, causing me to shut my eyes. Feathers gently brushed against my skin as I lurched and squirmed away from them instinctively. What is happening to me? Remove what? Oh. Diana. Okay. Diana's voice echoed through the air, surprising me. That caused me to look around. As I turned my head to look behind me, a pair of arms wrapped themselves around me, held me close. What?
Don't struggle.
Okay. Is that all?
Et hic habet potestatum, adorateut non exiturum.
It's a tug of war of magic. Okay.
E credere de loco isto.
Okay, I became lost at what was happening. It's a tug of war of magic. Can't you see? Or not see? Okay, nothing was making sense, but I knew that they were speaking in some form of Latin. Their voices that weren't Diana and Zero, however, struck fear into my core with each and every word they spoke.
Zero, end this!
Okay, on Diana's demand, Zero cast some sort of spell that caused his body and mind to be enveloped in the gold light. I felt every nerve in my body heat up almost uncomfortably, making me squirm slightly in Zeto's arm. Zeto, however, tightened his hold on me to continue casting his spell. At last, the world around me suddenly went dark and I found myself shooting up in bed, awake. Gah!
Love?
That's my name. That's part of my name. It's kind of awkward on how I name myself Loveless, because then when people try to call me Love, then it's like, that's kind of my name. Even though if they try to do it as endearment, it's like, eh. Okay, I looked to my side to see James shaken awake by my certain outburst. His eyes glossed over from exhaustion, but he continued to watch over me with worry. This was the second time I woken him up like this. Damn it!
Why are angels hunting you?
Angels? Angels? Angel? Angels? Angels do have the power to stop time. Fuck! Okay, let's see here. So, James and I suddenly shot our heads towards the sound of Diana's voice, seeing her and settle by the door. She had her arms closed and took a pure look of irritation. Man, I want to go on Diana's route, swear to God. Oh, okay, like, even if I don't record it, I want to go on Diana's route. I want to see what this will be. I know it's going to be like some type of threesome, because Seto ain't going nowhere. But, okay. Seeing her and Settles by the door, the frost and irritation on her face and waiting my answer. I don't fucking know. She thought she was human. However, I didn't know what to say. Angels were hunting me? Wait, that's Angel? I thought it was a demon lord. But then also we already know who the demon lord is, so then they would have actually not put question marks. But then they sounded evil though. Okay, so I stared at Diana in confusion of what she meant. James sat up at last, matching her expression with irritation of his own. Why is everyone irritated at me that I didn't do?
What are you talking about?
I wasn't speaking to you, James.
Oh yeah, his real name. My eyes widened as he at her slip. Did she almost say James's real name? Diana growled and clicked her teeth before looking at me again. Oh yeah, I supposedly know his name. I forgot his real name. Glared hard.
Your dream almost allowed them to erase your memories.
Huh? Oh. Okay. My body chilled at the thought. What the hell? I was so confused with fear of what was going on. What is still happening? Why were angels after me? Angels exist, but so do demons. So it's like, but why? No, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, they already did talk about angels existing, but angels are in the demon world because there was like something happening. Okay. James wrapped his arms around me, seeing me visibly shaking at Diana's words.
Explain, Diana.
Yeah, we need some explanation because I can only think of theories.
Ask your fiancée why she's targeted by them. Don't ask me. I want to know as well.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's like, don't say anything. Then if you don't say anything, then it seems suspicious. If you just say, I don't know, then that means that you really said something. I truly didn't know what to say. This was the first time that I heard angels were hunting me. The dream was not a dream I'd ever experienced before.
Angels don't target just anyone. They have to have a reason for hunting people down to erase their memories.
True.
Especially when their target is in the demon world.
True. I held my head and shook it, trying to figure out, did I do something wrong? What did I do to incur the wrath of angels? Diana sighed and rubbed her temple.
Well, they've been expelled from the castle for now. For how long? Who knows? However, we need to figure out why they are trying to take your memories away.
Yeah, like what's in your memories that you don't know that they're trying to hide? Looking up at last. Oh, was it the one that when she actually used her magic? Oh, was it when she actually used her magic in the human world that might have actually piqued the angels' attention, and then when she was dragged down into the demon world, they wanted to know why? Huh. Maybe. Looking up at Diana, I could tell that this was a serious situation. Oh, Jesus, how can you actually attack anything if you're having angels and demons that you're having to deal with? Okay, Soto looked... I keep interrupting myself. Okay, Soto looked at the floor, exhausted from casting her spell to expel them herself. Man, she keeps using her energy trying to save me. Thank you, Diana, but damn. Okay, Diana ground her teeth underneath her, looking as...
Another problem. Great. Can this war be any more irritating?
That's what I just said. Okay, I felt myself curl up into myself a bit at Diana's irritation. I was already a problem that she was gonna have to solve, and now here's a second problem on top of that. James hugged me gently against my chest, comfortingly, making me shrink back away from Diana.
Is that all?
From the tone of James's voice, he wanted Diana to leave immediately. Diana looked over and stared at James, a flash of slight fear in her eyes before her eyes hardened to cold glare.
No. Whatever you are doing to try and make me fear you needs to stop.
Yeah.
I don't know what you are talking about.
True, he's doing something.
Say what you will, but I can recognize fear enthrallment anywhere. Thank your father for that.
Oh, that's what he's doing? That's like making you actually fear him? Okay. Okay, so I looked at James and seeing him glare at Diana while Diana simply glared back. When my eyes traveled to Sarah, I can see his form of jealousy burning in his gaze at my fiancé. What is happening? James?
Yes, love?
Like that immediately. That. Wow. Okay, Diana turned on her heels towards Seto, now furious for some reason. So, seeing his mistress turn quickly... Wait, Wait. Okay, turn on here towards Seto, now furious for some reason. Seto, seeing his mistress turn quickly, turned as well, opening the door for her.
Sleep.
Okay.
We have work to do tomorrow.
Yep, lots of that. Okay, at first I thought Seto was also mad too, but I don't know. Okay, Diana left with Seto, but right behind her. Closing the door, James' embrace finally relaxed around me and pulling me closer. What was that about?
I don't know.
Truly? Okay. Yeah, you don't know either. Truly? I want to ask. Okay, so James nodded as I turned into his arms and fully observed him. James' face seemed very genuine. Still, something was off, and I knew it. It had to be something when James arrived. Apparently, only occurred when Diana was around. It was like some type of power struggle between... Fuck yeah, it's like two alphas hitting a room. You expect them not to go fucking... Yeah. Well, that's always the best thing, because Diana has, like, she's more powerful, she has more people and stuff, and so, like, just because you have your 5 brothers don't mean squat. They still have their own wives and shit. Okay, we are still winning, at least what I can tell. I shook my head. If James didn't know what was happening, then maybe it was just my imagination. James, however, stared at me with pure concern written all over his face.
But was Diana right? Are angels after you?
Seems like. Why would she lie? I don't know. It was just a dream that I had full of light and feathers, and a look of fear ran across James's face for a moment before he shook his head and returned to a calculated but worried expression. Was Diana correct? Was it an angel attack and not just some random dream? My memories recalled that I was captured. The voices appeared in my room before the imps came, and sounded so similar to the ones in my dream. They had to be angels as well. No, they were demons, huh? This is crazy. What's going on? First I'm cursed, now then I'm hunted. This is unbelievable in every sense of the word. Nothing makes sense in this entire situation. I'm so confused. The situation was so confusing. What does the angels want with me? James shook his head and kissed my forehead.
Well, they're gone now. Let's get some more sleep.
I nodded and wrapped my arms around James, lying back with him. He slowly began to pet my hair, most likely wanting me to go to sleep first before he did. Slowly, I closed my eyes, letting the darkness take over me once again. This time, there was no rocky dream. I simply floated in darkness until naturally woke up, still in James's arms. Just imagine arm. Good God, that'd be creepy. Oh, crazy. I looked at James' sleeping face so peacefully, almost happy. His arms around me made me feel warm and fuzzy inside, causing me to cuddle closer into his body. Unconsciously, James pulled me closer to him, wrapping his arms tightly around me. I could tell he was awake, however, his breathing wasn't slow like it usually was when he was asleep. James? No response. He was pretending, but which made me giggle a bit. The little things like that, it took my mind off of the world and made me forget my troubles. Whatever they were, I guess it was the blessing of being in love. I smiled and kissed James' cheek, making his smile grow a little bit more. I knew it. I know you're awake.
No, you don't.
Sleeping people don't talk. At least not like that. Okay. So I laughed playfully and smacked his upper arm, making him laugh as well. Opening his eyes and with a loving but tired gaze, I became once again lost in his eyes as he smiled.
Good morning. Did you sleep better?
Yup. Or kinda. I nodded, knowing that he would be happy to hear it. I was more than happy to say it. Before snuggling into his arms, nuzzling his chest. What about you? Did you sleep well? James nodded and ran his hand through my hair, petting me lovingly.
I did.
Lovingly.
All I did was dream of you.
Oh, that's nice. A soft blush formed in my cheeks before I looked up at him, seeing him smile down at me.
It's the truth. Would you like to hear?
I felt myself nod before I even tried thinking of the question. James smirked a bit and wrapped his arms fully around me, leaning to whisper my ear.
I dreamt that we were on a private island, basking in the sand beneath the sun. The wind was perfect, and you looked absolutely stunning in your swimsuit.
I began to imagine myself causing the blush on my face to intensify as James tightened his hug around me. My body began to heat up on its own from the warmth of his body gave me.
Then you pulled me into a kiss, one that I couldn't help but melt into. You kept teasing me until I pinned you down against the sand, and I made you beg for me to kiss you.
James peppered kisses along my neck, making my body shiver with both the image of his dream and feeling his lips upon my skin. I let out a silent but shaky sigh as James nuzzled my head and opening his mouth to say more. Alas, our moment was broken by a loud knock on the door. Damn! I wanted to hear more of this dream.
Oi! Quit fucking in there! You got food for... Go! Little shit!
That's his wife.
Oh, I don't want to imagine that, dude.
Okay, that's his brother. I was thinking of his wife.
We do have food, though. May we come in?
James and I let out a simultaneous sigh. Simultaneous sigh. So much for the enjoyment of the moment. This was the misfortune of not being alone. I knew that we would eventually have our alone time, but now a blush of embarrassment ran across my cheeks in response of Sam's allegation. He's like, quit fucking, and they didn't even get that far. Excuse me. James smiled and kissed my forehead before his head's lifting his head before and sitting up.
Come on in. We just got up.
I sat right up and opening the door to the hallway, revealing James's brother and their wives with plates of food. Eric and Ernie, I don't know, carried 2 plates and handed the extras to me and James.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ernie, whatever.
My pleasure.
On the plate of food, I recognized bread, cheese, fruits, and some sort of jerky. I assumed it was safe to eat, something I could stomach. James placed his food on his lap and looked up to the group.
So, training starts today.
Finally! I get to kick some ass.
Yeah, you do like kicking ass, Sam.
You kick ass anyway, you dork.
Sam blushed and rubbed his neck before stuffing his face with food, not wanting to say anymore. Matthew laughed and nodded.
We know what you mean, dude. We can finally kick that old man's ass.
Not to be the skeptical brother here, but is it possible to become stronger than him in just a week? It's been a while since we've had any encounter involving combat after all.
Yeah, like any training at all. They kind of stopped doing that for like a good while.
We'll kill him.
Wow. And you're usually the quiet type. Everyone looked at, yeah, it's stern expression. Yeah, okay. As the bastard son. Oh, wait. Wait, he's the bastard son? Ew. Okay, well, I didn't really go too deep. I don't remember this. It's been too long. Okay, Damien had more reason to hold a grudge against. Yeah. If you were kicked out because you were the other son and all that stuff, yeah, it makes sense.
We won't be fighting him alone. This rebellion will help us and allow us to focus our energy on defeating him.
I've been waiting years to kick his arrogant brute face in.
I think we all have a grudge against him, Sam.
We got this.
I would not be so sure.
Everyone turned to see Zerdo in the doorway alone, leaning against the archway with his arms crossed.
Oh, Sarah, where is...
My mistress had a rough night. She's still recovering from it.
Oh, they don't know. I grimaced knowing the reason why she had a rough night. It was because of me. Zerdo, however, seemed to be re-energized. I know how to say it too in my head, but I can't make my mouth do it. Whatever this word is, I know it. Somewhat bright-eyed, his gaze landed on James in a glare hard, causing my fiancé to straighten up a bit.
None of you know what has happened these past 10 years. None of you know of the Demon Lord's true strength.
Sure.
Then would you care to enlighten us?
At last, Zero pushed off the doorway and walked further into the room, closing the door behind him, and he looked at each brother, examining each man before setting his eyes on James again.
The Demon Lord is a madman.
You don't need to tell us that.
No. He was mad before, but he lost his mind completely when my mistress formed the rebellion against him. He's killed thousands by his own hand alone out of pure rage.
Gee. Zero's grip on his spear tightened, something resurfacing in his thoughts, reflecting in his glare.
Too many times has my lady faced off against him and almost lost her life in exchange.
Zero's cold stare rehardened itself on the face as it shook away the thoughts and looked to Damien as his stony expression to match.
What makes you think that you, a band of humanized demons, have any chance of destroying him on your own?
The brothers seemed to have glared in unison at Zero, as did the wives. I, however, saw its point. The boys had been in the human world for 2 years. Oh, it was a long time. They had missed so much and had grown accustomed to human life. I had been here a day, and I knew the world had changed much more ruthless than the human world. Sam stood and marched towards Zero, standing almost nose to nose with the guard and giving him a terrified glare.
What makes you think we can't, prick?
I have seen with my own eyes what the Demon Lord can do in battle.
We had to live with that sack of shit for almost 100 years as his sons. You know more than you ever will.
Yeah, but he's changed a lot in 2 years. It was 2 years, it's like 10. Oh yeah, it is 10.
Sam, that's enough.
No, it's not.
Okay, Sam and Sarah began to continue to glare daggers at each other with their others, into each other's souls, anger burning into their eyes without a sign of retreat.
We had to live with the fact that our dad burnt down villages, enslaved people, and stole hundreds of lives day after day, ending his night fucking a woman who was chained to a goddamn bed. What the fuck makes you think that we don't know anything about him?
Yeah, but he's only gotten worse, though. Okay, Damien seemed to flinch at Sam's words, and his anger face remained as Zero and Sam had their own stare down. Zero, however, remained unfazed.
Like I said, he has completely lost his mind. If he was a monster before, he is Satan himself now.
Yeah.
He does more than slaughter and burn villages. He takes prisoners and paints the ground with their blood while howling into the sky. He leads legions of imp demons who do nothing but make sure their victims suffer in agony before making them beg for death. He now takes pleasure not in a bed, but in the screams of millions.
Yeah. In act of defiance, Cerdo straightened his back and almost towered over Sam, gritting his teeth.
If anything, the reason he's as mad as he is now is because you all decided to run. So the blame for this war rests on all your shoulders.
Oof. Yeah. He had a point. He only got more mad because of that, yeah. Oof. Instantly, Sam's fist met Cerdo's jaw and forced him back towards the door. Cerdo slammed into the door, gripping his hand over his mouth, rubbing in pain.
Sam!
Sam!
Fuck you! Do not blame this fucking war on us!
Okay, Cerdo wiped his flesh blood began dripping from his mouth and glared as if it was a punch that wasn't as painful as it looked.
Arrogant mutt! The call of the human world was too tempting for you to ignore. You have forgotten about duty and responsibility.
We left because we were tired of the lives we had.
You left the world and everyone in it to become the victim of a madman and a world war. None of you understand what we have even sacrificed to stay alive.
No, we don't. And we never will.
James finally stood up from the bed and placed a hand on Sam's shoulder, forcing him to step back. As Sam rejoined Carrie, who wrapped her arm around him in comfort, James looked to Sarah.
But you cannot blame us for wanting to be free.
The one full of anger.
You have no right to defend yourself, eldest son. Because of you specifically, my mistress's entire world was destroyed.
Oh, really? I stared wide-eyed at Sarah then, but it was with their betrothal. But James did what was best for him. He and I didn't care about the consequences of our love. But Cerdo's painful words had made me shake. Cerdo's eyes began to burn once more into jealous at James' enraged in his word.
Because of you, the only people she had in this world, her family, was brutally murdered in the most sadistic of ways. The imps painted the walls of the castle nursery in the king and queen's blood, while her unborn baby sister was ripped from the queen's womb and nailed to the wall like a hunting trophy.
Gee. I felt sick to my stomach just imagining it, despite not wanting to in the first place. The imagery was too much, but Sarah continued without mercy.
Asayer had to watch her kingdom burn before her eyes and listen to the screams of her people when she returned from the human world after hunting you all down. It was only after the siege when she saw the fate of her own family.
He slips with saying her real name. Sarah finally straightened up at the sight as he looked powerful and strong, but his eyes burned with anger and rage as he glared at James. For the first time in his life, I saw fear run through James's eyes.
Yet you all claim innocence. You all know nothing of innocence! Enough, settle!
Ooh. Okay, everyone shout their heads towards Diana's voice, to her standing in the corner of the room, shrouded by shadows. However, I could faintly see tears running down Diana's cheeks, despite the terrified anger on her face towards Sarah.
You will not speak of the past again, Sarah. Understood?
Yes, my lady.
Alright, Diana finally stepped towards the corner and stood in front of Sarah and across from James, uncaring towards the rogue tears running down her face.
What's done is done. We can't ever change the past, no matter how desperately we try. What matters now is preparing for the Demon Lord and the final battle.
Yup. James nodded, and it was on a sour note to end on, but Diana's words was truth. We couldn't linger on pointing fingers and having doubts now. Diana ran her hand through her hair, looking around the room, pressed her lips together into a fine line.
So, about all of you participating in the war, you all obviously need to train.
Everyone nodded in agreement to Diana's statement. However, we weren't battle ready. We still needed to at least know how to defend ourselves. Diana, however, looked at me.
You, most of all.
Me? I didn't want to be in this fight in the first place. I said people have choices. Huh? Me? Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I'm suddenly confused of how come I was the odd one out and that had to be ready the most. The last thing I remembered about training was Diana was against the idea altogether.
Apparently, there are guidelines to breaking this curse. Not only do we have to kill the Demon Lord, but you have to be nearby when it happens for the curse to even break.
So you have to actually live long enough to actually get near the Demon King. Jesus. Lord. Lord? The Demon Lord? There you go. Demon Lord? There you go. That makes no sense. Where did you learn this?
Shadow. He spent the night trying to find alternative ways to break your curse. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything of the sort, but we found the guidelines to breaking it.
Well, it still makes no sense.
Even while it doesn't, it's still better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to kill him and then still have you stuck here because of an error.
True. I could only sign Tekkunen, so I had to be there when the Demon Lord fell. Great! Diana waved her hand and dismissively through the air, breaking my potential thoughts.
Anyway, we can't have you dying on the way there, and we can't monitor you when we're in battle. You should at least know how to defend yourself. That's why we've come up with a solution.
Huh? What's
simple?
Oops.
The other rebel leaders and Sero have agreed that if you'd like a trainer to enhance your abilities, you can train with one of them.
I stared, seeing Sero step up with a nod.
Each of the leaders is proficient in a different area of magic and battle strategy, good enough for self-defense. I can't speak for the others, but I can assure you that with Sero's skill and training methods, you will be well prepared by the time the siege arrives.
Gee, yeah, I could imagine with Sero. Because, she's not Diana's pretty much lapdog for no reason. He has quite a bite on him, and a bark. So Sero nodded and bowed to me slightly, while I was flattered at the idea. Did I really need a trainer? Wait, is Sero my trainer? I knew to take Taekwondo. Oh, Taekwondo. There you go. I was like, what? I knew Taekwondo at least. I knew how to defend myself, demon or not, but we're in the demon world, there was magic was the norm. What would the others teach me? I would like to train, what would the others... Oh, because he bowed to me. I would like Sero to teach me, because he knows holy magic. And if the fucking fairies, if the angels are after me, and also have my own thing, and then so she can always say no. Will the others teach me? Let's see. I would like to train with Sero, because he's like, he cannot say I don't need a trainer. Oh God, that's stupid. So I would say I'd like to train with Sero, because he also bowed to me. I'm guessing that he is my trainer. Sero seems skilled enough to train me. He was Diana's right-hand man. Yeah. And he was the one apparently stopped the Demon Lord from getting his hands on me. Yeah. At least I had to give it a shot. Sero nodded and looked at Diana, who crossed her arms.
Very well. You've made a good choice, I assure you.
Oh, good. Okay, I was actually making a choice. With that, Diana turned on her heels and left the room.
Finish eating. Afterwards, you should start training.
Look. It's like, God damn it. Everyone in the room nodded their head in affirmation as Diana and Sero left.
Well, it looks like we'll be busy for the next couple of days.
It's fucking a week. It's gonna be the longest week of your life.
This'll be fun.
Of course you would say that.
Man, training's gonna suck.
That's me.
It'll be worth it, though.
I hope so.
Damien's right.
Yeah, because he gets to live, more likely, or have a better chance of doing so. As we all finish eating, everyone left to either train to do. I should actually stop. It's been 44 minutes. Oh my god. But I'm loving this story so much. I want to keep going. Okay, the demon lord wasn't gonna win. I wouldn't let him. Okay, I gotta stop here cause it's getting long. So sad. I'm sad now. But that's just how things go. So I'm going to save here. The very beginning. Yes. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna be it for this episode. It's been so much fun. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's been so much fun. I'm loving it so much. So if you want to see more of this, or even if you're even looking at it, or if you're doing with one person who's doing just leaving a comment, which I love. Like, at least you left a comment, even though I probably didn't watch the video, but that's okay. Leaving a comment is nice. So if you want to actually watch it and see more of this and see more of my content, I'll be coming up with an Animal Crossing one very soon, probably in a couple days. This one's gonna be kind of like a rant one, because I'll be ranting mostly about Boku no Hero, and then doing my cosplay for Animal Crossing, or trying to. It's a little bit difficult to do so, and I'll be talking about that later. So, alright, you know what to do.